Well, hello from Scotland, and tonight we're going to do a little video slightly different from normal. What I decided to do was do this video to show you the skiing do's that I have in stock and that I can guarantee you'll have before Christmas if you decide to take one. So with no further ado, we'll get started. So the first one isn't a skiing do, it's actually a letter opener. It's made from Antler. Again, all my Antler is sourced from the Outer Hebrides. Mainly South Lochs and on the Isle of Lewis. So this one, as I say, is Antler. It's the top one of the tines, and what we have here is a black buffalo guard. Guard's there because when you open a letter sometimes you get a little paper cut, so this protects you from it. And what we have here is some powdered volcanic rock that I've actually used resin to fill in some carving I did, which is an infinity knot. So it's a letter opener with a little bit of Scotland included. So the next one is another letter opener, which is a little owl. And again carved from a point similar to this, but following through and keeping its strength, because Antler actually has a hollow centre. So you have to design it round about that. So this is black buffalo, antler horn, stainless steel knife, stainless steel letter opener. And yeah, he's available. The next one is one of my favourites just because he's so plain. When the antlers were growing, he actually snapped off the point that would have sat from here. And what was left with this one when it came to full maturity, and these are all naturally shed. It's when these deer actually shed their antlers every year or so and grow a new set. So when he shed this, I found this, and what you've got there is a natural position for your thumb. So it sits well in the hand. It follows the same curve as your palm. Again, Antler, this is natural finish. This is the way it polishes up. There isn't any varnish or anything like that on it. And here we have black buffalo horn married to a lovely Damascus blade. So the next guy, he really doesn't need any introduction. Mr. Rubber Burns. And again, a darker piece of antler. Quite a simple one, this. Black buffalo hilt and pommel. Again, Damascus blade, quite a nice Damascus blade. That's a raindrop pattern, it's called. It's really quite nice. Now the next one, this is just done from horn on its own. And on the back of this, you can actually see some of the natural growth rings on this one, just because of the section that I took it from. So this is known quite tragically as the Battlefield Cross, which is an M16 rifle rammed into the ground with the soldier's boots and the helmet, which is marking his grave. And I did this one, I didn't really know why, but I did this one. So anyway, what I've decided to do with this is I'm not asking a lot of money. I just want £300 for this, and £100 of that will be going to the Erskine Veterans Hospital just outside Glasgow. And yeah, you get yourself a skiing do that's unique, light, doesn't pull down your sock because it's horn, and pretty much one of a kind. Anyway, that's that one. The second one, which I've also decided to do a donation with, is POW MIA, which is Prison of War Missing in Action. And this is a charity that's set up to actually deal with families that are dealing with this and still dealing with loved ones that haven't come home or have been missing in action. So again, this one is antler, buffalo horn, as you can see, in 3 places, and a Damascus blade. Obviously they all come with a scabbard, but this one again, £300, £100 of that will go to the charity in USA, which well, this actually is a charity in USA, and this, so the money will be going to them. So the next one is a little horse that if you follow my page, you'll see that I remodeled recently because I felt he was just a bit too dumpy down here, and he's much more sleek now. He's gone from the old nag to the Arab Stallion, I think. He has a Stallion silver bridle and a Damascus blade, and again, this one being quite light, and it's scabbard. It's Celtic knotwork on the scabbard. Blade's offset, so it means when it sits in your sock, it doesn't rub too much against your leg, and it's quite light. But again, it's one of a kind, and raring to go. Now the next one is one of the ones that always makes me smile. This is Puff the Magic Dragon, and he's just lovely, you guys. He's got a kind of smile on his face, or a kind of snigger. And he's quite good. He's just wrapped wings folded, and as I said before, Antler is hollow in the middle, so that's why that's got the divot in there. And it's the design is to design round about the fact that Antler is hollow, and he's good fun. His tail comes all the way down, and there's a custom scabbard I have for him so that the scabbard comes all the way up but leaves the tail sitting out. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. A solid piece of antler that came from a really big stag. So the next guy is Sid, and this is similar. This is carved from a section of antler like this, and he's a rattlesnake, as some of you might know. Again, the tail goes on the outside of the scabbard, something a bit different, and the detail itself is actually carved, and then I used Indian ink to highlight it. It's a thing that they used to call, or still to call, scrimshaw. They either used Indian ink or lamp black on the ships when they were engraving on whale tusks or antler, for that matter, anything that was bone. But yeah, he's quite good. He's looked good in somebody's, I don't know, somebody's boot or sock for their kilt or something. So the next guy, William Wallace, Freedom. He's a lot of detail in him, and he's actually carved from the statue that stands on the right hand side of the entrance to Edinburgh Castle. He is black buffalo, solid piece of stag antler, that's all antler, and then we have a Damascus blade, and on the back we have every man dies, not every man really lives. Now the reason I put that there was it's something that is as good as it's legend. It says William Wallace said that. Now I did look it up, and apparently the person that coined it in paper was a poet from New York, just about the 1890s. But as I've said to people that have asked me about it, if you come to Scotland and go into a pub and ask if William Wallace actually said that, and try to have an argument with him, I don't think you'll fare very well. So anyway, that's William Wallace. He's pretty unusual. Again, leaning to the side so that he sits well in the leg. Substantial, but yeah, an incredible amount of detail in this guy. Now the next guy, I hope this one gives you a laugh, because this is a Highland coo. So it's a Highland coo, or a Highland coo Sgian do. Again, black buffalo, antler. Now this one is actually unusual in the respect that, where's the hollow section? Well, what I actually used was the bottom section of the antler, where it attaches to the antler, the deer's head, and where it detaches, it's actually calcified over. So it's a bit of a punt to try and get it to carve like that. But anyway, it was successful. That's the main thing. And it has a brass hilt married to the black buffalo. And these are really tough. But like all my Sgian do's, I give you an unconditional guarantee. So, you know, you do whatever you do to them, if you break them, whatever, you send them back to me and they're repaired free of charge. You cover the postage, I'll cover the repair. Although most of them are, I'd love to see how somebody break them, but I could see somebody breaking that if they really tried. So the next one, this guy, I'm not sure why this one's still here actually, because this was kind of an evolution. I took my time and handmade this brass guard, which is again 2 infinity knots and 2 Celtic knots in the middle, hand turned brass spacer, and this here again is black buffalo, but it's got a vein of white in it, which really stands off, and it just sets it aside as a thistle Sgian do. And it's what's in here is actually a long soak blade, which I've had in the acid for longer, which someone actually said to me, that looks 3D, and the reason he said that is it actually is. It's got topography on it. You can actually feel the different types of metal that went towards making the Damascus scale, because the acid is eaten into it a wee bit more before I cleaned it off. And that one is again offset to the side so that it sits nice, and yeah, I don't know, I think this one might be mine. We'll see. The last one, now the last one people don't really understand, and if you're sitting at a computer and if you type in wave, the icon that'll come up, or the icon that'll come up on your phone is wave, and it'll show you a picture of this, which is actually called the Great Wave of Japan. And I don't want to bore you with the history, but this is a picture that I took, and it took me an awful lot of time to get the scale right, so that there is no start and there is no finish. It actually is the same painting all the way around, there's no join. And as you can see here, this is the large wave coming down on the invaders, which was they were coming to invade Japan, and there's a ship there, a ship here, a ship here, recently discovered actually, and well, sorry, the wrecks were recently discovered, and it is one of my favourites because it tells a story, and it's something that's yeah, it's quite unusual. But so there we go. So that's where we stand. That's everything that I wanted to show you. All sourced from, all the Antler sourced from up the road. Please feel free to give a message or message me, and I'll have a chat and ask me about these. Like everything else, I'm a Scotsman, so I'll tell you a price and you can tell me what you think. The only other thing that I did was, I made this for myself. It's actually snake ring. Funny enough, that's the only finger it fits on. Anyway, folks, keep yourselves safe, and hope to hear from you soon. Bye for now.